Hi everybody, happy Thursday. Doreen from Door Designs. Hope you guys are having a great day. On today's tutorial, we're going to be doing a patriotic design. Every Thursday, I try to do a tutorial, put it on my page, and it's anything from wreaths to swags to um, different candlestick holders, centerpieces. So I try to mix it up each week. And if you guys have something you want me to design, just send me a note and I will be happy to see what I can do. But on today's tutorial, we're going to be doing a grapevine, which I love to do. It's white. It's been painted, and like I said on a prior tutorial, don't be afraid to paint your grapevines any color you want to kind of fit your design. Like at Halloween, I've done black and orange, purple, different things like that. They're very easy to paint. It just takes some spray paint, a few light coats, and it looks really good. The sign is America the Beautiful, and it's got the mason jar with the flowers coming out with the flag going across. I do have this listed in my shop. I actually had a kit. I don't know if the kit's been sold out or not. And then we're going to use some mesh, and I'm going to add some more mesh so you can see how I do it. But I went ahead and kind of prepped it because no one wants to sit and watch somebody put in mesh all the way around. So I've got this mesh. The mesh I got, I believe, at Craft Outlet, and it is a Deco Poly mesh. And it's red, white, and blue. This is why I really liked it, was because of the sheen and then the red, white, and blue on the outside of it. So when I'm doing this design, I'm going to be covering up some of the mesh, and I know I'll have people ask me why. I'm using this just as a filler. So think of it as when you're designing and you use fillers of different greenery. Instead of the greenery, I'm going to be using the mesh. So you're still going to see some of the mesh. You're just not going to see all of the mesh. Because we're going to add a nice big bow up here. I am going to keep some of the white showing around it because I like that look, but we're going to bring this mesh down a little bit farther so you'll be able to see how to attach the mesh. The sign, I used my hole punch and used two pipe cleaners to attach it. And several of you ask about how to attach signs. I actually did a video before this one of how two different ways on how to attach signs. It's just a short little video. So I'll post that also. And I did it separate so that way you'll always be able to go back to just that part of it instead of trying to figure out which video I explained how to attach signs. So I'm going to go ahead and finish attaching my mesh. So what I did, I just took some pipe cleaners. I don't know if you can see them because they're white, and I cut them in half and I just put them through the grapevine. So I just kind of scattered them out, and we can always add more or take some out if we don't need it. I do not glue those in. I just feed it through. I cut the mesh about 15 inches. You can cut it any length you want. And you know, I'm gonna get real quick before I forget. I'm gonna give you, I got the mesh at Craft Outlet, and hang on, I gotta put my glasses on so I can give you the number. The number is RE8504H3. That's RE8504H3. Okay, so I've already got some of mine cut about, like I said, about 15 inches long. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it kind of tight on the end, and then I'm going to scrunch it. And it works better on a table. And then I'll show you. You're just going to scrunch it in the middle, and that's all it is. So I'm going to go ahead and take it up here at the top. And I'm just going to take my little pipe cleaner and twist it around it. And when I get done, I'll come back and cut off any length of the pipe cleaners that are showing. So let's go ahead and get the other pieces. Like I said, I'm just going to roll it down tight, and then I'm just going to scrunch it up. And then at the end, I'm going to roll the end down a few times and then roll it in. And that helps keep it from raveling. I mean, all mesh is going to ravel. And then I kind of fluff mine out a little bit. The other thing, when you use mesh on a grapevine, you don't have to add as much sometimes greenery or florals as fillers. Okay, I'm going to turn my mesh up a little bit because I don't want it to cover up the whole word of America. So we're going to kind of pull that up. Now, if you wanted to make your wreath bigger, you could take another whole roll of mesh along the back side and come up, and it would add probably another 6 inches or so to your design. So if you want a great big design, just continue to add your mesh. You can also make your mesh longer than 15 inches, and it's going to come up higher also. So that's pretty good coverage for right now. I'm going to do my bow next, and I'm going to use just some Patriotic red, white, and blue. So I'm going to start out with a 4-inch blue with the white stars. And I'm going to make my loops probably about 6 to 7 inches. Yeah, this one's about 7 inches. And I'm going to leave my ribbon kind of long because I'm thinking I'm going to have it come down a little bit past my wreath. So what I do is I hold my bow approximately where it's going to go on the top, and then I'm going to cut it based on how long I think I want it. And we can always trim it up later, or if you want, you could have left that ribbon attached and go ahead and done all of your ribbons and then cut them. But me, I like cutting it and then, yeah, that's a really good size. Okay, next I'm going to use this burlap with the red, white, and blue. And you'll notice this ribbon has a little bit of a shine to it, just like our mesh. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take my tail up first. Bring it down. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit shorter, probably about 1/2 inch from my blue and white. So we'll pinch that and twist it and make our top loop. I'm going to do a red, white, and blue plaid. Now, when you're doing your bow, you don't have to use this many ribbons. You could use, 1 or 2 or however many you want. It's easier for me to drop it on the floor when I'm doing a tutorial than on my table. So let's add our third. We're just going to do the same thing. We're going to put our tail up and then bring it straight down and loop it back. And I'm going to go a little bit shorter than the last one. Oops. And I'm going to do a smaller blue and white star. So I did a 4-inch, a 2.5 inch, and then a 1.5 inch, 2 of those. See how nice and full and pretty that's going to be? I'm going to use a long zip tie and feed it through. I'm going to move my mesh a little bit. I'm just going to zip tie my bow in place. Nice and tight. You could use pipe cleaners, you could use wire. For me, zip ties work really good. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of spread out my loops and my tails. And I think I'm going to take 2 tails up here and 2 tails down, just a little bit lower. So let me get some more pipe cleaners here. I'm going to secure that to the grapevine. I will say too, when you paint your grapevines, sometimes it's a little harder to get your florals or your wire or zip ties to go through because the paint has stuck to the grapevine. I'm going to turn that back. And we're going to dovetail the ends. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other 2. And I'm going to take the smaller 2 up a little bit higher. And we'll dovetail both ends. And I think I'm going to curl these a little bit, the shorter ones. And I'm just dovetailing the ends of the bow. And then you can see how pretty the bow looks. So even though you can't see the mesh going all the way down, you can see the mesh coming through the bow with your red, white, and blue. Okay, now I'm going to add a few, just kind of some red, white, and blue or red flowers, just to kind of give it some more softness to it and some more depth. So we're going to start out with this red, white, and blue bush. I got mine from a wholesaler, but I think you can get these on Craft Outlet. Hang on, and I'll give you that number of these real quick too. The number is 82394-RDWTBL. So 82394-RDWTBL. Okay, these are pushers, so we can push these up. And I'm going to keep these fairly close, kind of down in there. I'm not going to do a whole big coming up over the mesh. So we're just going to start filling in. So I'm going to keep my stems pretty short after I push them up. And I'm going to pull my flowers apart a little bit. I'm going to pick up my ribbon before I fall over on it. So once again, you can make your own design as full as you want. And I bring a few flowers coming down. These little flowers are great to design with if you're doing centerpieces or lantern toppers. I'm going to do a lantern swag using some of these for Patriotic. I think I want one more piece to come out of that bottom right there. Okay, so there it is with our first little florals. You can just see some little bit of the red, white, and blue coming out. Then there it is at the bottom. Okay, I think I'm going to add a couple of big tulips. I've also got some red ones that are smaller I'm going to add. See how those white tulips start to make it pop? Okay, we've got the white tulips added in. I'm going to add a couple of blue flowers that I had left over. And I think these came from Hobby Lobby. Okay, I'm going to put in a couple of red tulips now, and then we'll be just about done. Got one more left. This is going to be the last flower I'm going to add. Even though I love all of these in there, they don't have a lot of movement to them. I want some florals that have a little bit of a movement to it. So we're going to add a few of these real quick. Just a couple more, guys, and we will be done with this design. Two more. That's all we've got. Last one. So I'm just kind of moving my florals around a little bit. Okay, I think we're done. Let me get this out of the way a little bit and I will hold it up. And here it is, nice and full, red, white, and blue. Okay, so a lot of you ask when you buy the sign and ribbon bundles, do I do a design with each one of those? I don't. There's no way I could. But when I do designs like this could be used for any, this recipe could be used for any ribbon and sign bundle, because all I'm doing is supplying you with ribbon and with the sign. Everything else is up to you to kind of decide if you want to do a grapevine, if you're going to do a swag, if you're going to do a mesh. So I'm just kind of here just to kind of help you start the process and then kind of teach you some different things and different ways of putting ribbons together. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I will have this one posted on my page by the time the video shows. And then, like I said, I have the other video, which is on how to attach signs. So you should see 2 videos from me today. So have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.